KT7 up here. This is my Nichol 140 video. Before looking at his kit, let's go over how you can obtain him. Level 120 Nichol will be available for 2k paid, in form of a multi-pull. The same goes for his VC, you can get a copy of it at level 99 with 2k paid. There will also be a Nichol unit and VC combined banner, both will be featured and have rate ups. But if you go with this banner, they will appear at level 1, not 120 or 99. The usual 80 shards from Gil Shop, and the 120 unit shards from Bingo Board will also be there. You can reincarnate Nichol a few times just by purchasing the unit. These are great deals, the fact that they are at max level is amazing. Make a purchase if you want to support the game, it will encourage them to offer this kind of deals more often in the future. Now let's move on to the unit. Nichol is a 70 cost water unit in the book group. His sub-jobs are Spellblade and Arithmetician. He is a debuffer that can get to 100 unit resistance, and somewhat of an anti-magic mage. Next stats comparison. He has the highest amount of HP among the next-gen magic-based units, but he does not get much more from the board. Everything else is just okay, nothing eye-popping. Can't expect too much from a 70 cost unit. Next is new book. You obtain this book from his character quest. You can only have one copy, and it comes as magic type. The general ability is Magic Penetration 20. For Nichol only, he gets Spirit Pen 20, reduced magic damage taken 8%, and AoE Penetration 20. This is his best weapon in my opinion. The Necronomicon is also a good choice for him, it has less penetrations but offers a flat damage increase. Next is TMR. It is a cloth. The stats are HP 520, Crit Evasion 12, Defense 6, and Spirit 12. The ability is a diamond-shaped buff around self. Gives the group 4 turns 25 defense and spirit. Also, a on-hit effect of lower target's defense pen, and Spirit Pen 20 for 3 turns. These effects are really good, however this will take up the armor slot, and it has no agility. Moving on to his weapon type resistances. He has 15 to slash, 5 to pierce, and 30 to magic. Negative 15 to both strike and missile. The 30 magic resistance is very strong in the current meta. But her negatives are kind of scary against Yuna. His ailment resistances are 10 to curse, 50 to immobilize, and 50 to paralysis. With Orochi Esper and a Truststone passive, his curse resistance will be at 50, not bad at all. Next his master ability. It gives him skill activation time down 20% and 15 fire resistance. His level 140 upgrades are accuracy 15, unit resistance 15, and increase his magic damage output by 10%. Also upgrade to his job 25 ability to include courage removal. Moving over to his support abilities. Number 1 gives him magic 24%, magic penetration 40, AoE penetration 40, and skill activation down 200. Number 2 gives him 12 unit resistance, and skill activation time down 400 for the first 5 turns of battle. Both of this have to be on him at all times. With these two support equipped, all he needs is another 200 cast time reduction to instant cast all his abilities. His main reaction is a diamond-shaped heal around self, it has a 30% chance to go off after taking damage. This is the best reaction from his whole kit. Next is LB. It is a diamond-shaped AoE attack with range up to 6 with range height 2 and area height 1. Before damage lower target's water resistance by 38 for 3 turns, then deals extra large damage. Post damage, lower target's magic attack by 50, and lower their agility 20 for 3 turns. This is a very good debuff LB, and it is the main theme of his kit. He has quite a few ways to debuff his enemies. Next are his main buffs. Number 1 is the cross-shaped group buff. Gives the group critical evasion 30, slash resistance 30 and magic resistance 30 for 4 turns. For himself, he gets re-raise, and physical force barrier from range 3 to 6. The group effects are really good against some of the meta teams. And it can push Jume's magic resistance to 100 in the right setup. Buff number 2 is for himself only. Gives Nichol a one-time HP auto heal back when his health is below 50%. And unit resistance up 30 for 4 turns. Also grants him 30 magic attack and peril on hit for 3 turns. With this 30 unit resistance increase, it can reach 100 with the right build. Moving on to his attacks. First attack on the list is a sequential ability. Part 1 is an X-shaped AoE that can reach up to 7 panels away, with range height 2 and area height 1. Before damage gives Nichol plus 30 hit rate for this attack, then deals 2 hit large damage. Also dispel haste and HP absorption from targets, and lower target's unit resistance penetration by 30 for 3 turns. Part 2 of this ability is a single unit buff, increase CT extra small for 1 ally, and restore 15 AP. This is his signature ability. The unit penetration in peril works really well with his high unit resistance. Ability number 2 is also a sequential ability. Part 1 is a cross-shaped AoE attack that can hit up to 5 panels away, with range height 2 and area height 1. Before damage dispel target's active magic force barrier, then deals large damage, and has 25% chance to stun the enemies. Part 2 is a single target buff, grants one ally physical damage reduction effect 25% for 3 turns. Attack number 3 is the low AP finisher. Range 3 and range height 1. Deals small damage and recover HP small for self if target is KO'd. Attack number 4 is another cross-shaped AoE. This one has range up to 5, with range height 2 and area height 1. Before damage remove courage from targets, then deals large damage and lower their healing power by 50 for 3 turns. AoE courage removal is always good. That's all for his main kit. Moving over to his sub jobs. First, his main sub. Ability 1 is a select 2-unit attack with range of 4 and range height 2. Deals medium damage and lower target's bravery by 30 for 3 turns. Ability 2 is a self buff. Increases Nichol's magic damage output by 15% and increases reaction block rate by 100 for 4 turns. You can leave this ability on, so he has something to do when he is not in range to attack, but you can save some CT if you turn it off. Next is Spellblade. The support ability is Providence of Fire, gives him 12 magic and 12 fire resistance. The reaction is Magic Guard. 20% chance to reduce incoming magic damage by 45%. The 2 notable abilities are Resist Magic and Attract Blade. I recommend to turn them both off. His main group buff already gives magic resistance, there is no need for a second one. The extra spirit is nice, but not worth messing up his initial movements. You can leave all the water blade attacks on if you decided to run this sub job, but I don't recommend it. Maybe for PvE water/chain only. Next is Arithmeticians. The support abilities and reaction are not good, don't bother. He does have access to height 3 disable for when he has 0 accuracy. He'd also have height 3 cure, a instant diamond heal. I recommend this sub job for him, just so he can heal if he is out of range to attack. That's it, his whole kit. Moving on to his VC. Nichol's card supports Sword Red Mage, Staff Devout, Glove, and Book. The stats are HP 310, Magic 161, and Spirit 4. The party abilities are Reaction Block 48, Spirit Pen 20, and Agility 15%. The bestowed effects are Magic 10% and Unit Resistance 10. Hollow ability for quest content is Critical Damage 25. VC Mastery are Fire Killer 3 and Water Attack 3, also for quest content. This VC is a very good one to have. Spirit Pen can power up units such as Gilgamesh, Exia, and Sadali. The 10 unit resistance from bestowed can help Nichol reach 100 unit resistance. This definitely worth 2k paid at level 99. Moving on to his equipments, Truststone and Espers. Both his new book and the Necronomicon are good weapon choices for Nichol. In the second slot, you likely would want accuracy and unit resistance. Pod 153 is a happy medium. In the TMR slot, go with agility, he could be a bit slow. Be sure to boost it as much as you can with a TMR. For his Trust Stones, I like Luck Set on the left to increase his accuracy. Be sure to give him a bunch of ailment resistances from passives. On the right, go with agility or aim. Orichi is the best Esper for him. It has curse resistance, casting time reduction, and magic penetration. He can still one-tick cast all his attacks after turn 5. Dark Siren is another a good choice, some accuracy, and unit resistance, very good to pair with Marshmallow Hat or the Alex Ring. Next, sample teams. The first team I have prepared is the most stable Nichol team with Gilgamesh and Agrias. In this setup, Nichol's unit resistance can reach above 100 with his active buff. Meteor Blast from Exia, and follow-up attacks from Sadali or Gilgamesh will only do 1 damage to him. His spirit penetration is average at 40. He does have AoE penetration to help with his damage. This is a trend we are seeing with newer units. They have either AoE or unit resistance pen instead of defense or spirit penetration. His magic pen, however, is pretty good at 80 with Orichi equipped. All the VCs showing here support all the units. The 2 VCs I want to bring attention to are Nichol's card and Orichi on Gilgamesh. With the extra 20 spirit penetration from Nichol's card, Gilgamesh can deal even more damage with his follow-up attacks. The 24 unit resistance from Orichi can help Nichol reach 97 unit resistance even if he has an accuracy item in the second equipment slot. The second team is Mono Water with Jum and Exia. The VCs are mostly the typical water cards, with the exception of Silver Memories on Nichol. It supports all 3 units, giving them 20 AoE resistance and 60% magic for the 2 water DPS units. The 8% agility from Bestowed is very good for Nichol. With Dark Odin as the unit resistance card, Nichol can reach 87 unit res. I gave Jum the Jumbo Cactuar Esper. She can reach 90 magic resistance with Nichol's group buff, and it also gives her 15 physical wide guard. Should you want 100 magic resistance on Jum, you can put the Astrologer card in Jum's sub slot. Or give her the Ultros Esper, but you will be giving up the physical wide guard. Next is the Book and Black Mage team with Summer Resnick and Shurecca. I don't recommend running a support unit alongside Nichol. The damage might not be enough even with Shurecca. With a tank like Agria's, she brings status ailments even though she does 0 damage. However, with a support like Resnick, there are just too much pressure on Shurecca. Anyways, this is an option, and all the VCs support all units. The last team I am showing is the Book and Glove team with Sadali and Crimson Wizard. This team works pretty well with 3 magic attackers. Nichol can give Sadali unit resistance, which can help him better survive follow-up attacks and Exia. All the main slot VCs support all 3 units, and the generic cards are here to fill out the rest. If you want to give Nichol and Sadali more accuracy, you can go with Typhon instead of regular Ramuh. That's all the team I am showing today. I did not include a team with Exia and Sadali, because Lucielle is just better on that team, and she is a free level 120 unit. Now let's look at the VCs for the book group, then my final thoughts on the unit. They have everything they need, but the units are not quite there yet. The most notable crossovers are with Black Mage and Red Mage, which I have already covered. Now my final thoughts on Nichol. You can get him to at least base 140 for 2k paid. This is a great deal. He is not a unit that you will miss if you decided not to pick him up. His role is to increase your team's survivability against magic with his imperils, and deal AoE damage from the backline. Being able to dispel HP absorb and haste are huge, and could be the deciding factor in a match. He is really good against unit attackers, but his AoE resistance is bad. And he does not have damage reduction effect, barriers, or wide guard to protect him. If you are free to play or only have 2k pay this, I don't recommend him. Just like most 70 cost units, he will be useful during cost limited content, but other than that, he would not be a top choice for most teams. Even if Jaden is dropping on the same day as Nichol, I would still recommend to pick up his VC. Spirit Pen and Agility on the same card is really strong. It will be useful for Exia, Sadali, and Gilgamesh even if you don't have Nichol. Now let's go to sample matches. The first match of the day is the Water and Ice team against Exia, Sadali, and Lucielle. Nichol's first action, his group buff, gives the group 30 crit evasion, 30 slash resistance, and 30 magic resistance. For Nichol only, he gets re-raise, and physical force barrier from range 3 to 6. Second action, self buff, gives him 30 unit resistance, and HP auto heal back medium when his HP falls below 50%, once per battle. Also, gives him 4 turns on hit effect of magic attack imperil 50. With the 30 unit resistance increase, he is now at above 100 unit res. This is his job 25 attack. Before damage, remove courage from targets, then deals large damage, and lower enemies' healing power by 50 for 3 turns. He also lowered Exia's magic attack by 50 from his on-hit effect. Exia's meteor blast only did 1 damage to Nichol. Sadali's AoE attack did over 7k to Nichol, but his follow-up only did 1 damage, and triggered his HP auto heal back. One damage from Exia. Here comes Nichol's LB. Before damage, lower target's water resistance by 38 for 3 turns, then deals extra large damage. And lower target's magic attack 50 and agility 20 for 3 turns post damage. This is his X-shaped AoE attack. Gives him plus 30 hit rate, then deals 2 hit large damage. Also dispel haste and HP absorption from targets. And lower their unit resistance penetration by 30 for 3 turns. Then part 2 of this ability is a single ally buff that increases CT extra small and restore 15 AP. This is the 6th turn Nichol is taking. His 400 cast time reduction no longer applies. But still it is a 1-tick cast. He is using the X-shape AoE attack again, and missed because of the blind status. Finally finishes off Lucielle with a basic attack. The second match of the day is against Light and Dark with Lucielle. I will have one more match after this one. Nichol's first turn, group buff onto Exia. I am really liking the diamond group buffs that Exia has. Gives me a lot more control on the initial turn movements. Nichol is using his Courage Remove and Healing Power Down attack. This is Nichol's other sequential ability. Before damage, dispel active magic force barrier. Then deals large damage and 25% chance to stun the targets. Part 2 of this ability is a single target buff that grants an physical damage reduction effect of 25 for 3 turns. This is the same attack again. Finally, we took out Lucielle. The last match of the day is against my own mono win team with Garrousa, Dario, and Shurecca. You will see why I said Nichol is just a somewhat anti-magic mage. When going up against a Shurecca with decent unit resistance penetration and good crit rate, Nichol will be in trouble. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.